Good morning. Today's Tuesday, and that means another episode of the Constant Change video blog. And today I want to talk about something that happens every single day. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. But I want to talk about living intently with them. And so today I want to talk about surprises, and not the kind of surprises that shock our system, that make us totally pay attention to the value of life, because we all get surprises in bad ways. Maybe it comes in the form of a diagnosis. Maybe it comes in the form of a sudden death of someone that we care about. But those aren't the kind of surprises I want to talk about. I want to talk about the surprises that we intently incorporate into our life. The ones that show people that we care about them. The ones that just take a little bit of time and effort in order to make someone happy. And when we surprise people, it becomes something that creates a ripple effect. Well, last week I picked up a book, and it is actually called Surprise. And it is a book about how we can look at surprises and how we can actually make them a part of our lives and incorporate them so that every mundane, routine day can be completely different. Now, it was funny because in this book they talk about the actual phases of a surprise, and I guess I had really never thought about that there were different phases, that there's the certain face, and then there's the processing, and they've really narrowed it down in terms of what does the mind think when they are surprised, and what are the facial expressions that we see when someone is surprised. I will tell you that during the same week that I was reading this book, I was very pleasantly surprised by someone that thought enough of me to send me something in the mail that otherwise might have just sat in a store. And I was very, very surprised. It was very unexpected. But those are the kinds of surprises that I'm talking about. The surprises that make someone feel loved, that make them feel important, that changes their day. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be a card. It can be a text. But when we think that our days are the same, when we think that nothing will ever be different, then what do we pay attention to most? We pay attention to the things that surprise us, the things that remind us, hey, that's a little different. In case you haven't noticed, I am wearing a hat today on my head, and it's not because my hair is all running amok or anything like that. It's a surprise, because this is not normally what I wear when I am doing a video blog. And so today I wanted to kind of just point out that I am in fact wearing a hat, and it says Riviera Maya, it was intentional. I want to talk to you about how you can intently incorporate surprises into your life. They don't have to be big ones, but they have to mean something. And that's the purpose of a surprise. A surprise is intentional. It is purposeful because there is meaning attached to it. That is the key to every surprise. A few years ago, my husband surprised me by flying out my two sisters for a long weekend around my birthday. And I remember them standing in the kitchen, and my immediate reaction was something like, what are you doing here? What happened? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? And it was constant for about what seemed like more than 2 minutes. But it was very hard for my brain to comprehend that they were there. They live 1,700 miles away, and that they were both there, and that my husband surprised me by flying them out to celebrate with me. So I'm not saying that every surprise has to go to that extreme where you fly people in from other states, but it is the unexpected that gets our juices going. It makes us feel alive. It gives us something to shoot for and to believe in again. And that's what surprises do. They jolt our system into a sense of awareness that otherwise doesn't come. And it comes in such a great feeling, and it changes everything that we believe about every day and mundane. And it just proves that we can make our lives different. We can do little things and we can do big things. But surprising other people, even if it's just showing up somewhere, if it's sending a card, if it's inviting them to lunch or dinner, if it is sending something that means something, it doesn't matter. But live intently with surprises. Make sure that what you are doing is meaningful. And every surprise that you give to someone, no matter how much it costs, no matter the amount of time that it took to put it together, will always, always be remembered. That's what surprises do. They trigger emotions that we cannot forget. I want to encourage you to keep living your best life and to keep being true to who you are, no matter what kind of world you live in. And I'm wishing you always well. All my best.